Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we've got my top tools of 2023, my favorite and most used tools of 2023. Some are brand new to me, and some I've used pretty much the whole year. And so as the year comes to an end, I wanted to give you guys my opinions, and maybe you're a heavy duty mechanic or a forklift mechanic, and maybe this can help you out. So first off, we have this SnapOn punch holder, chisel holder, rope pin punch holder, whatever you want to call it. Here's the part number. Basically what this does, you can screw it and unscrew it, and you can put all different size of punches and chisels in there. And so this basically saves your knuckles and saves your hands from getting destroyed when you're trying to hammer something heavy in, or trying to punch a bearing out or a race out, or whatever you want to do. This thing is not very expensive. They're pretty cheap. I think like brand new they're like 80 bucks, something like that. Is it something you desperately need? Probably not, but I use it all the time, and I find a lot of uses for this. You can use this for other things too. Maybe you want to hold something in place, and you can do that. So basically how it works, you put your punch in like that, you get your hammer and hammer away. And so yeah, you can use other things like vice grip, things like that, but I don't know. This thing it's definitely saved my hands, so maybe it'll save your hands. All right, next up we've got my favorite ratchet of this year, and this is a Snap-on. Here's the part number on it. So basically how this works is it's got the head on it rotates 360 degrees, and it functions just like a normal ratchet, and you can put it basically any angle you want, which is amazing for hard to reach places. Instead of using like a stubby ratchet, which I hate using. I don't like the little tiny ratchets. I like a long handle so I can get some leverage on it. You put it however you want, in whatever angle you want, and it gives you leverage to bust those nuts loose or whatever, those bolts loose. Here's the 1/4 inch version of it. You definitely, I 100% recommend these. Go out and spend the money. They're not super expensive. These are the hard grip handles. This is the ones that I like. And these will save you so much time, so much heartache. I mean, I can't say enough about these. Aside from my 1/2 inch Snap-on and NOCO ratchets, these are my go-to ratchets. Moving on up, we've got Knipex. I guess that's the proper way of using it or saying it. I also say Nipex. I don't know if that's the right way of saying it or not, but these are adjustable wrenches. These are amazing. If you've never used these before, I would highly recommend you buy these. They're not super expensive. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're worth their weight in gold. These are the small versions. They definitely go way bigger than these. And so the way it works is the harder you tighten, hold your grip, the harder it bites down on the bolt or nut or whatever you're trying to break loose. These work great for AC lines, hydraulic fittings, pipe fittings, whatever you want to use. They're awesome. Moving on with the adjustable wrench is this Snap-on 10-inch adjustable wrench. And so some people hate adjustable wrenches. I don't know why. I use them all the time. Depending on where you're at, if you're working on an equipment and you don't want to get down from the equipment and go get a wrench or whatever, adjustable wrenches are great, especially if you have the space for it. And these Snap-on ones are great. They're super durable. They got those little ridges on the teeth. Here's the NOCO version. This is the part number on it. The reason I like these is because they're very skinny. You can see there the difference between this one and the Snap-on. It's very lightweight. The Snap-on one is pretty heavy duty. That's why I like the Snap-on one. And so depending on, if you need extra clearance, or maybe that Snap-on one won't fit in that space, this NOCO one will for sure fit in there. I've also heard that these are a knockoff brand of some Amazon brand. I don't know if that's true or not, but probably. I mean, NOCO has definitely been on the declining side of tools. Up next, we've got Mueller Cubes, and these are carbine scrapers. Very handy if you do a lot of engine work. These are very sharp. They don't cut through like your hands or anything. Like they're not that kind of sharp, but they're definitely like the blade on it, the angle that you put it in to scrape through gaskets or whatever. Here I'm just trying to scrape the dirt or grime off my hands, and it doesn't cut through your hands. It doesn't do any of those things, but it'll definitely scrape through. So you'll see like the skin particles on there. It's very, very sharp. So these are a German brand. They're made in Germany. Very, very handy. They're like the best in the market. Highly, highly recommend them. They're kind of expensive, but they're worth it. 100% worth it. I got these from Tempco HD's channel. If you guys have heard of them, I definitely would go check them out. They've got great content on heavy equipment. And yeah, these are a must-have if you do a lot of engine work, like I said. Up next, we have more Knipex because they're amazing. These are the Knipex Cobras. I think you call them, yeah, Cobras. Here's the part number, and they come in different sizes. They got big, medium, and small. And so these are amazing. Like I said, if you don't have these, stop the video right now and go buy them. They're insanely, insanely useful for a lot of things. I use them a lot for hydraulic fittings. So holding down hoses or removing hoses. I use them a lot for coolant hoses as well. For those coolant hose clips, those hose clips. I don't know if you guys, I don't know what you call them, but here is just a demonstration on a Caterpillar, or sorry, on a Bobcat Quick Connect. You see how hard they grip and they don't slip. The teeth are super, super sharp. I don't know what they make these out of, what kind of steel they use, but I mean, I've had these for well over a year and a half now, and the teeth are like I just bought them yesterday. They don't really mar or damage the things that you grab onto. As you can see, they leave a little bit of a mark, but not really. So super, super useful. Like I said, stop this video right now and go buy these. They're very, 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 very useful. Worth their weight in gold. Here's the other sizes. Like I said, I mean, I can't say enough about them. I don't know what else to say to get you guys to buy these, but if you don't already own these, you're behind. So yeah, moving on up, more Knipex, and these are the Raptors 8741-250, made in Germany. Now, I really didn't know anything about these until I accidentally saw them on Amazon. I was scrolling through Amazon looking for a set of pliers, and I saw them, and I was like, man, what are these for? So I Googled it, and I watched a couple videos on it. So basically what you do is, when you get a bolt or something that strips off and you can't fit a socket on there, you get these bad boys, and it'll literally, I'm not even kidding, it'll bust loose any nut, no matter what it is, no matter what size, no matter how damaged the nut is. That thing will grip on like you don't believe. So the last Knipex on the list is these right here. There's the part number. I don't know exactly what you call these, but these basically cut wire or cables or whatever. They're meant for the three-phase cables, you know, the one that has the green, white, and black. But what I use them for the most, if what I found the use for me, is battery cables. So if you work on a lot of electric lifts, forklifts, pallet jacks, or you work on electric heavy equipment, or even you working a lot with a lot of batteries, these are great for battery cables. This is how I use them. Basically, if you just want to cut the insulation, it won't actually cut the copper, which is great. Or maybe you just want to cut it off completely. And they're very, very sharp, very strong. For the size, I mean, you can't beat it. They're not very expensive, and they're great. So highly recommend these. I keep them on my bag in case I got to cut through any kind of wire that's heavy duty wire. Definitely don't try to cut steel with it, because you'll damage the blades for sure. And so up next is the SnapOn LN47ACF. These are very, very popular. I'm sure you guys have seen these already, but if you haven't, these are all over TikTok. Basically, these are like needle nose pliers, but they're super, super grippy. I think SnapOn knocked these out of the park. They're amazing, definitely worth their weight in gold. They're not super expensive either. I think at the time when I bought them, it came like a pack of three different pliers, and I only paid like 160 for it. So this is the smaller version of it. These I just got like a couple weeks ago. They're very, very handy. I use these to like remove fuses, to remove contactors, like stuff like that. And so, I'm sorry, not contactors, relays, cotter pins, you name it. These are super, super grippy. Again, if you don't have these along with the Knipex, go out and buy them right now. They're amazing. They'll definitely save you time, and you're not going to use any other pliers. Up next, we have the SnapOn PWZ3 GAs. These are this is a pipe wrench, adjustable pipe wrench. Absolutely my go-to when it comes to hydraulic work, hydraulic cylinders, busting stuff loose, gripping onto things. The teeth aren't the sharpest things. I don't know if it's just mine, or let me know in the comments if you guys have problems with these teeth not being as sharp as you thought they would be, but maybe it's just me. But these are amazing. Highly recommend. I think SnapOn did a great job with these. Yeah, can't say anything else about that. They're amazing. Alright, so sticking with the pipe wrench theme here, my other go-to pipe wrenches when it comes to hydraulic work, hydraulic cylinders, busting anything loose kind of that you can't really use a regular pipe wrench with, is these Blue Point. There's the part number on there. This is a 24-inch version, and so this is a chain wrench, I guess you want to call it too, whatever you want to call these. These are a must-have. They're not very, very expensive. I actually got this one on Facebook Marketplace, and so if you can get them on eBay pretty cheap. You can find them for like 50 bucks on eBay. This is like the younger brother version of it. This is a smaller one. These teeth are super, super sharp. Like I said, amazing. You can put a cheater bar on this one if you don't want to get the 24-inch. Put a cheater bar. You're not supposed to, but we gotta do what we gotta do when we're out in the field, So yeah, these are a must-have. Blue Point sells them. Yeah, lifetime warranty. So definitely recommend if you do a lot of hydraulic work. Up next is another Mueller Coops tool. This is the same German brand of the carbine scrapers. These are wrench extenders. You can see how big this thing is. If you actually held this in your hand, it's actually super, super heavy. Made out of very, very good quality steel. You see that hole right there at the back? That's for a 1/2-inch ratchet if you want to put it on there. If you want even more leverage, I'll show you. I'll give you guys a demonstration here in a second. This is the smaller version. This goes up to 25mm wrench. I use this one practically every single day when I'm working on hydraulic fittings or whatever, busting fittings loose and stuff like that. Amazing tool. Amazon sells these. They're very, very cheap on Amazon if you want the cheap brand, but I wouldn't cheap out on these because these, like I said, this is like the high quality steel, very durable, multiple functions you can see there. This is a 25mm wrench, gear wrench. It fits perfect. Now this is a 2 5/8 inch wrench. And you can see how much space, you see how much extension you can get out of it. Look at that. Super, super useful. If you work on heavy equipment, this is like a must-have. Like highly recommend these. This is top 3 most used tools of 2023. Up next, we've got these seal twisters. This is a Hercules brand. You can get these pretty cheap on Amazon. This brand is Hercules. This is a more expensive brand because I think the quality is a lot better, but you can find them very, very cheap on Amazon or eBay. They don't cost that much. So yeah, you guys kind of already know how these work, but I'll turn this box around and it'll kind of demonstrate how they work. These are super, super useful if you work on a lot of hydraulic cylinders and you repair a lot of cylinders and you basically work with seals a lot. These are a must-have. Do I use them all the time? No, but if I'm working on a cylinder or somewhere where I can't fit my fingers through, or they're just tough and I can't squeeze the seal through, these will definitely get the job done. You got small, medium, large, and extra large. And so if you don't have these, I definitely go out and buy them. Like I said, Amazon has them. If you find any tool on here that you guys want a link to, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to link these on there. Moving on up to power tools, we've got my SnapOn 1/2 inch brushless 18-volt gun. Now, I'm not gonna go out there and say you need to buy this. I know Milwaukee's 1/2 inch high torque is very, very popular. I personally haven't used it yet, but I've heard really, really good things about it. Compared to that, I can't really compare it because I've never used it, but this thing is amazing. Is it worth the price that you're gonna pay? I think I paid like $580 for this gun with a battery and a charger. That seems kind of ridiculous on the price, but to be honest, this thing hasn't let me down. It's very, very powerful. They even make a bigger version of this. This is a small 1/2 inch version. I wouldn't say I'm a SnapOn fanboy, but I definitely, the SnapOn tools that I've bought so far, they haven't let me down. This is Milwaukee's 3/8 18-volt. This is a stubby. I know that the M12 stubby 3/8 is very, very popular, and that's the one that I'm going to buy next. I just haven't had a reason to buy it yet. Only thing I don't like about this gun is the size of the battery. The size of the tool itself is great, but that big ass battery on the bottom, it just gets in the way of a lot of things, and I hate it. So I think I will have to buy the M12 stubby probably in the beginning of the year, 2024. This is my second most used power tool. This is the 1/4 inch extended brushless SnapOn 14 volt or 14.4 volt. This thing is awesome. It's great for hard to reach places. It's extended, it's brushless, hasn't let me down. Like I said, is it worth going out and buying the SnapOn version? I can't tell you yes or no. It's been great for me, so I love it. That's why I'm showing you it. I love the SnapOn batteries, and I love that little trigger. You see there, the little push trigger? I like that way better than Milwaukee's flapper trigger, whatever you want to call it. This button is great. The batteries are great. You get this magnetic base on it, and it sticks to anything. You see there. I love it. I can't say much more about it. They've been working great. Now, how long are they gonna last? I don't know. I've had this one for a year now. I got it in the beginning of the year when it came out, and it's been working great. So, this one here is a 3/8 Brute, they call it. This is an older version of SnapOn's 3/8. Now they came out with the brushless version. I love this one because it has a lot of torque. You can see like the size of the head. You can't see the part number there, but you can see the size of the head is a lot bigger. Right there where my finger is. They put bigger gears on there, so this is like a gear reduction, and it's got like 90 or 100 foot-pounds of torque, but it's very, very slow. This is not something that you want to use to like zip out bolts or whatever. You can see how slow it is, but it's super torquey. You got to be careful because it'll destroy your hands if you're not careful. But I love these tools. I use these all the time. And like I said, am I gonna tell you to go out and buy SnapOn tools? No. But these are the ones that I use. These are the ones that I like. And yeah, here we have the Milwaukee 3/8 fuel, and this is like the high speed one. The high, yeah, you can see how fast this is. I love this one. I use it all the time. This is my #1 used tool. You have to go buy this one. Buy this one. Even the extended one are super nice. I'm gonna show you here the difference between that and the Brute that I just showed you, the 3/8. You can see the speed difference. So if you want to save time, definitely get the Milwaukee. 100% get the Milwaukee. It's gonna bust those things loose really quickly. Obviously, it doesn't have a lot of torque, but you know, it's all about time saving. So, you know. Next up, we've got the famous SnapOn 3/8 trigger gun. This is the brushless version, the new version. I got this one in the beginning of the year, and it's been amazing. This one has about 200 and something foot-pounds. I mean, I can't say enough about this, how much I love this gun. The trigger action is amazing. I love the fact that I don't need to switch between reverse and forward. I just, you know, use the two finger trigger, and boom, there's the part number for you if you want to buy this gun. CTR 61, I think. Amazing tool. I think SnapOn knocked it out of the park. Even their old one, their old brush one, was great if you guys ever use those. So yeah, highly recommend. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it's so long. It looks like a gun. That's the only thing I don't like about it. If it was like stubby, if it had like a stubby version of it, I mean, it'd be amazing. All right, so moving on to electrical tools, electrical diagnostics, things like that. Number one tool obviously is a multimeter, and not just any multimeter. There's a Fluke 115 True RMS multimeter. If you are a field mechanic, field tech, forklift tech, heavy duty equipment tech, this is a must-have. These are expensive, yes, but for the money that you pay for it, I mean, it's amazing. It does everything. It reads alternate current, direct current, continuity, ohms, anything. And along with that is, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the Dan Sullivan videos on YouTube, the electrical diagnostic videos on YouTube. This is what's called a Load Pro. This is a 48 volt version. If you work on electric trucks, electric forklifts, stuff like that, you know, they got 36 volt batteries, 48 volt batteries, 24 volt systems. This thing is amazing. So what you do is you put your positive and your negative leads on there, and you can check for resistance, opens, and short to grounds. And it's amazing. It works like a normal multimeter, multiple, like the same leads and everything. You got your negative and your positive, right? And so what you do is you put your negative to your ground and use your positive, and it's got a little button on it. You'll see the button here in a second. That's just that button right there. What you do is maybe you want to check for voltage drop, right? You grab that, you put it into the positive side of whatever it is that you're checking. You press the button, and it injects a 1 amp circuit into it. And then, you know, if the voltage drops from, let's say, 12.5 to 10.5, you know that there's some kind of problem in that wire. And yeah, I highly recommend that if you've never used it before. Next up is a grease gun. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy this DeWalt grease gun. Actually, I've had this DeWalt grease gun for 6 years now, and I haven't had a reason to replace it. I wanted to get the Milwaukee one, but I just, like I said, haven't had a reason to replace it. This here is, what's it called? A Lock Lube. This is the brand. This thing is awesome. I highly recommend you guys go out and buy this Lock Lube attachment. If you can see how it comes out. It comes out like in a thinner version. Like the grease comes out thinner, so it doesn't get clogged up easily. It bites down onto the actual Zerk fitting. So yeah, highly recommend it. You can get them on Amazon for, I don't know how much they cost, like 20 bucks or something like that, 25 bucks. Maybe they're a lot cheaper, I don't know. Super handy. Us field mechanics and heavy equipment mechanics, we gotta grease a lot of equipment. So here's what it looks like. Lock and lube and grease function. Grease coupler. Yeah, highly recommend this. Go out and buy it. All right, up next is this pump and spray. Now, I forget the actual brand who makes this. I would have to look in my receipts, but this thing is awesome. I use this for brake cleaner. If you go through a lot of brake cleaner and you want to use like a sprayer version, this thing will definitely save you a lot of money. This thing is not cheap though. There's the part number on it. I think it cost me brand new like 75 bucks, I think, after tax. But I mean, this thing is worth its weight in gold. The seals that they use on this is very heavy duty industrial seals, so the brake cleaner chemical is not going to eat through it. I used like a cheaper version of this. I bought like a $20 one off Amazon, and literally in like a week it ate through the seal and it just wouldn't hold the liquid in, and it would just spray out on its own. And this thing is amazing. This is a brake bleeder. You can get this on Amazon. This is Capri tools. This thing is awesome if you're out in the field and you don't got anybody to help you bleed a brake system. You put that on the bleeder screw or bleeder valve. You put your shop air on the left side, and yeah, you just press that trigger down, and you're gonna pretty much suck all the air out until you see clear liquid coming through that line. And yeah, it'll hold. Maybe you want to get all the old brake fluid out and put new brake fluid in. This thing would actually hold, I think, like I don't know, 5 liters of fluid in here. And so yeah, super handy if you're out in the field. I've used this all the time when I do brake jobs, and yeah, seems to work great. Just something that I thought you guys would like if you've never used it before. All right, up next is this NOCO Boost HD. This is a 2000 amp 12 volt version. The part number is there, GB70. Yeah, GB70. Now they got bigger versions of this. This one goes up to 6.0 liter diesel, I think. So if you know most V8s, this thing will crank it pretty well. Any forklift 12 volt, this thing will just start it up pretty easily. They got a way bigger version of this. They got 4,000 amps. You can get these on Amazon. They're worth its weight in gold. I say this a lot, but a lot of the tools that I have, I mean, they make you so much money. And so they actually got 24 versions of that NOCO. If you work on like excavators and stuff like that, they've got bigger versions of that. Next up is pry bars. If you're a heavy duty equipment mechanic, you use a lot of pry bars. This is a NOCO version. You see how it has a striking cap on the end of it, an end striking cap. Any pry bar that you buy, make sure it has an end cap on it to strike it with. That means that the metal or the steel goes all the way through the handle, and that's when you know it's like very heavy duty. I just so happen to have Matco. This is the latest one that I bought. This is a 48-inch one, I think, maybe a little bigger. This thing's huge. I'll show you the part number here in a second. This thing is amazing. It doesn't have to be Matco. These are just the ones that I use, and they've been working great. There's the part number. So yeah, highly recommend. These are made in the US. Don't cheap out on your pry bars, because if they break when you're doing something, they can hurt you for sure. Don't ask me how I know. All right, next up we have this bottle jack. And now this isn't just any normal bottle jack. This is a Tempco industrial bottle jack, or a machinery jack, whatever you want to call it. This is a 5-ton version. Now the reason this thing is so dope is because it's got a little lip on the front. I don't know if you see it, and it gets it's like very low profile. Okay, so the very top of it holds 5 tons. The bottom of it, you see the edge on the bottom, the lip, that only holds up to 2.5 tons. Now they got way bigger versions. They got a 10-ton version, and they even got a 20-ton version. This is the 5-ton version, obviously, and this thing is awesome. If you work on forklift, electric forklift like Crowns, Raymonds, doing load wheels, things like that, or you're working on a heavy piece of equipment where you need low clearance to lift something up, this thing is amazing. I've had this about a month now. It's been working great. It doesn't even weigh that much, so storage wise, I mean, it's great. This thing doesn't weigh that much. Really heavy duty. It comes with an extra set of seals too, so you can, if the seals give out, you can fix it. Whoops. So yeah, definitely great. Highly recommend. You get this on Amazon too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions or you guys want to know part numbers or whatever, leave them down in the comments. Again, this is what I've used the most in 2023. I'm sure it's going to change right now in the new year. So just for fun, I gave you guys some bonus ones. Here we have my SnapOn neck light. There's the part number on. I don't know if you can see it or not. But these things are awesome. I use these all the time for inspections. Maybe you're underneath the heavy equipment or whatever, or you want your hands free and you don't want to be holding a light. This thing is awesome. They're magnetic too. You can take each individually off and hold it on a magnet. And yeah, these things are awesome. They're rechargeable. They last quite a while. If you put on high intensity, it'll last you like 6 hours. If you don't, it'll last you like a day or two, depending on how you use it. But amazing product. I think NOCO sells a version of this. You can also get them on Amazon as well, like an Amazon version. This is the SnapOn Torch 400. Very useful. I use these for like heat shrink, electrical work, stuff like that, soldering. Very useful. Do you have to go out and buy this? I don't think so, but I think it's great. There's the refill hole right there. Very useful. I use it all the time. And now, this isn't really a tool, but it's an O-ring lubrication by Parker. You can also get this on Amazon. Very handy. If you work on a lot of O-rings, you're swapping out O-rings, working on hydraulic fittings, things like that, coolant line O-rings, whatever it may be. Maybe you're redoing like a hydraulic manifold and you're redoing the O-rings. That liquid is amazing. Along with this multi-purpose oil, you can get this on Amazon too. Very useful. These are all kind of expensive, but they're super handy. This is made by WD-40 actually, and anything that you need to lube up, this thing works. This thing is amazing. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. Awesome. And then if you're doing engine work or greasing, I use this for, I put this grease on the actual seals on hydraulic cylinders when I'm putting them back in. There's the part number. You can get this on Napa Auto Parts store. Amazing grease. Best grease you can buy for lubrication, for motor assembly. It's like an all-purpose lubrication grease. Amazing. Highly recommend. Go out and get those. And then last but not least, we got these butt plugs is what we call them. But there's the make on it. These are for sealing hydraulic lines. As you can see there, prevents spillage, stops leakage. These aren't super expensive, but yeah, highly recommend. You guys probably already know about this, but I use these all the time. And here is the last tool that I'll show you guys. It's just a thread checker. This is the original thread checker. You can also get this on Amazon or eBay. Very handy if you're out in the field and you don't know, like let's just say you get a busted nut or bolt or whatever and you don't know what the size is. Maybe you have some extra or a spare in your truck and you want to check the thread size. There it is. You got the male and female versions of it. And yeah, you got metric, standard. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, let me know down in the comments if you want to see anything else. If you want an in-depth review or you want to know every single tool that I have, let me know in the comments. And let me know what you guys suggest as tools as well.